Alright, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Buckbuster Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything hockey. I am Jeff, followed by everyone else in the studio today.
What's going on? Everyone else being just me. Well, we are back at it another week. We're debating on if we were going to do back-to-back weeks based on how crazy the trade deadline was. If you guys paid any attention, you would know it was a pretty crazy trade deadline.
Yeah.
One specific trade in itself is the reason that we're here today, and we're like, we got to talk about this. But we'll get to that a little bit later. As we like to usually start off the past, probably pretty much this whole season, I think, is talking some Erie Otters hockey.
Oh, yeah.
I believe since the last episode, we only played these two games this weekend against Owen Sound. Winning both of them, sweeping Owen Sound. How about that attack pack? Drove that whole fucking way just to lose both games. Imagine that.
And not so much close games either.
No, I mean, after they scored that, Owen Sound took the quick 1-0 lead Friday night. Friday night. Friday night. I was like, oh shit, here we go. But then Erie scored 4 unanswered to win 4-1. And then last night, Saturday night, final, 7-3? 7-4? Yeah, kind of wasn't really close. They kind of fought towards the end of the second there. Was like, uh-oh, this might be an ugly third.
Got 2 goals in them. Less than a minute.
Yeah, less than within the final minute of the third, or second, we're like, oh gosh. But no, 3 unanswered in the third from Erie. Final score 7-3. Almost a Malcolm Spence hat trick. He had 2. Came very close, and a couple opportunities for a third goal there. But yeah.
And Otters are officially back in the playoffs.
Officially back in the playoffs. Clinched that officially on Friday night with that win. We actually had a reason to celebrate this time, unlike last time we did it against Owen Sound. We're celebrating after a loss. But we got the point that we needed, so we're like, yeah! But it was like, you guys just lost the game. The last year, the attack pack sat right in our section, both games. So, but yeah, they didn't do a whole lot of cheering this whole weekend, so.
Couldn't really hear them either.
2 sections over, and we couldn't even hear them cheering, so. Like, can you hear that? I was like, Colin's like, can you hear that? I was like, honestly, I really can't. Like, I'm not being a sarcastic dickhead. Like, whoa, what does that sound? I legit could not hear them. So, but yeah, great 2 games they ran, and
definitely played for Chris Millette.
Free Chris Millette, free.
I gotta give a lot of props to the Otters for their marketing for the Chris Millette stuff on Friday night.
Oh, great! The T-shirts, the free Millette T-shirts, the Facebook post with the certain specific letters being capitalized to promote the merches. Whoever is the head of that, I just want to shake their hand, man. It's huge props. It's unbelievable. But I don't think we haven't talked about the suspensions that came from the brawl, if you could even call it that, last Sunday.
It wasn't
the actions, the disagreement, what are they calling it? The altercation that happened in that game. Both Chris Millette and head coach of the Peterborough Petes, the fuck's his first name?
Adam.
Not Adam. Wilson.
Rob
Wilson.
Rob Wilson.
Rob Wilson. Each 5-game suspensions. Fucking so dumb. Could have been no more than 2, which Erie's assistant coach, Ken Paroff, also gets 2 games.
For literally
holding our coach back and not trying to further the altercation. But then, of course, Erie, shocker, the American team, getting the shit end of the stick with Alex Messier, getting a 9-game suspension.
And then the fines, Erie gets $7,500 USD, Peterborough gets $5,000 or $5,000 Canadian currency, which is nothing compared to. I think it's their 72 cents or their Canadian dollar is worth 72 cents.
American,
yeah.
So all in all, like American dollars, they're probably fine 4,200, 4,000 maybe. But yeah, and then another forward, I don't remember the name off the top of my head, from Peterborough, a 4-game suspension for being the 3rd player involved in a fight. So pretty much, the player that initially tripped our goaltender, Charlie Burns, which is what initiated the entire thing, if you ask me, gets away scot-free and absolutely nothing happens. Obviously, Alex Messier knew he was going to get suspended to begin with. He's like, this is going to, I'm already at my max fight, so I'm just going to go all fucking out.
Yep.
If I'm going out, I'm going out with a bang. Literally. Took 2 guys on at once and legit was holding his own. Beat the shit out of one, and I think he could have done a lot more damage if he wasn't being ganged up on by the second one and trying to get yanked off, as he still was throwing punches at the second dude, too. But unbelievable.
It
man.
was insane.
Still really upset that I didn't get to be there for it. But I watched it, I watched it on TV. I walked in from getting food, and I was like, holy shit. And just in time to see them pulling Alex off and, skating him over to the bench. And I had to see the coaches. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, just absolute insanity, man. Just, you can't make that shit up.
No.
But he had 2 much needed wins for the Otters, and we secured them both. A very tough schedule coming from here on out.
So we got Windsor on the 11th, Tuesday, at Windsor, and then went on the 12th, and then Sarnia. And then obviously next Saturday and Sunday is against Niagara on the 15th, and on the 16th it's against Glow.
Yeah. But I know this is something that I think we mentioned him a couple times. The guy that says in front of us, I see him taking older, he's the one that said, he goes, Messier probably in that moment he was thinking, I'm already at my max fights, I might as well just go all out.
Yeah.
I'm going to get suspended anyway. So, the OHL is a dumb rule, you can only have, I think, 5 fights per season.
Yep.
And yeah, I would have thought he already had more than that by now, but
I
know Royston's probably getting close to 5. McCall's already had like 2, I think. I think Sod's had 1 earlier on in the season. Obviously, Eddie had 1 earlier, just a couple weeks back. And Gordy had 1 last year. Still one of the best ones I've seen in person ever.
That was great. We're like, oh shit, it's Eddie.
Yeah, I know this is something we also discussed at the game. I think it was last night. Something I wanted to bring up, we can discuss on air. Next year's OA situation. We have 7 OAs going into next season.
Forward core being Alex Messier, Dylan Edwards, Captain Kerry Trance. On defense, you got Alexi Davio, Nathan Sauter, McCall, and Noel Erdlin.
Yeah.
So, I have said I'm going to stick by it. Kerry's going to Anaheim, or he's going out west, somewhere in Anaheim system. We're going to try and get... Well, Messier's gone to the NLL, the National Lacrosse League, because he signed that professional contracts.
With the Toronto Rock, yeah, I can very easily see him just sticking to that.
Yeah, since he's under contract, he'll just go up there instead of opting into his 5th year, or his OA year, or whatever.
Year, yeah.
And I can see them getting rid of Alexi Davio. I've not been a big fan of him these past couple of seasons. I'd be happy to see him go.
I mean, regardless, I still think we can get a decent return for him. So yeah, you think you'd keep McCall out of the defenseman, or did you keep Sods?
I've been up in the air. Part of me wishes, hopes that we can keep Sods because, that veteran experience.
I know they just recently gave him the ace with Schaefer being out and that.
Schaefer and Kerry being out. But at the same point, McCall does fit Chris's system a whole lot better than what Sods does. He can skate, he can move, but he still hasn't, vice in the back end to lay down the body, block shots, whatever. Whereas Sauter's more of the, hey, I'm going to stay at home, I'm a shutdown guy.
And I know McCall has mentioned, too, from what I've heard from other Otters fans, he wants to stay in Erie. Since he signed with the Otters, he kind of wants to stay another year in the OHL before
going back to the NCAA. And, with him, technically, this is his freshman year in college. Not many players out of the Boston system get a opening night roster spot.
Yeah.
Not many sophomores also get an opening night roster spot. So it's just a matter of, he wants to stay in the area where he knows he's going to get an opening night roster spot, where he knows he's going to be, maybe not the number 1 defenseman, but
you at least be on the second pair at least.
A blue liner where, Chris can, or the coaching staff can kind of lean on and be like, hey, we need you to play, big minutes. We need you to play.
I can even, depending on who we keep, who we get rid of, I think very easily he can fit on that first line pairing next year. Probably him and Ty.
Well, it also depends on Schaefer.
Schaefer, yeah.
Schaefer's going to go up. The only number 1 overall draft pick to not immediately go into the NHL is Owen Power of the Sabres, where he spent another season down in I think the Q is where he came from.
I think he came up and played a couple games, like an emergency call. He played a few games in his draft year.
Preseason, yes, but other than that, like his rookie season or his
I
first
think
year,
it's one of those like end of the season post trade deadline call ups.
that like, hey, like this is our game number 82.
I don't think he had an opening night spot until like 2 seasons later. So.
But either way, like Owen Power wasn't listed on the opening night roster. He's the only number 1 draft pick to not be since I don't even remember when. Yeah. It's been a while, but I'd imagine with Schaefer's caliber, he'd be opening night roster to whoever he goes to.
So you think Carey, McCall, Erliden to keep?
Eddie is the forward.
Okay.
Because again, knowing Anaheim, seeing how he played in preseason games out there, seeing how he played World Juniors and pre-injury, I see Carey going West Coast.
What do you think, Jeff?
I'm saying Erliden's gonna stay, McCall's gonna stay, and then Eddie is gonna stay.
I do think, unfortunately, sadly, with how much we love Eddie and how much he has grown to be loved for the Otters, if Anaheim decides to let Carey play another year here, I think you got to keep Carey. I think you have to. And regardless, if we decide to keep, even if they decide to say, hey, we want Carey to play one more year in the O, even if we even decide to trade him off, I think regardless, if it's Carey Trans or Dylan Edwards, I think we can get a really good return back. I don't think it's going to be one of those 13 picks for one player like you're seeing what Carson Rakoff got that. I think even Cam Allen, when he went over to London, I think London sent a good amount of picks over to, what was it, North Bay?
Yeah. Well,
Cam Allen came from Guelph?
He came from Guelph.
Yeah, and Guelph traded away Cam Allen and a couple 12 packs. So.
Traded a lot of picks away. I don't think it's going to be to that extent, but definitely we need to have at least a couple, forward or two come back for that, losing Messier and losing that other forward. Because even if Messier doesn't decide to go up to lacrosse just as of yet, I don't see us hanging on to him.
I think he's going to be the odd man. Easily.
I do think he's going to be the one that gets the boot. Whether he goes and signs another hockey contract, I know a lot of the Otters go to Prince Edward Island, University of Prince Edward Island. Whether he goes there or he gets an ECHL walk-in tryout contract or something like that, which I know Kulikov got and Cameron Morton got. Regardless, I think it has to be between Carey or Eddie. It all depends on what happens. And then I'm still up in the air if it's going to be Sods or McCall. I don't think we'll have a transfer until the end of this season to see how well Sods continues to play. As of right now, I do want to say Sods just because you want that veteran on the back end, If he leaves, the most veteran person back there is probably Schaefer.
And again, who knows what's going to happen to him? Otherwise, behind him, it's Ty. It's Hall Mango,
which he's really started. I'm trying to change on him. He's really improved. He's really starting to look better on the defensive end. He's getting in front of pucks a lot more. He's blocking shots a lot more. He's starting to lay down a couple hits. Of course, the one hit he did lay Friday night, he almost got hurt. He did get hurt, but he was right back out there. But it could have been a lot worse. Very similar play to what looked like what happened to Carey, but luckily he got up and was okay. I know he was out yesterday, but I think I heard it was a healthy scratch, so he's not hurt. It's going to be tough. I know we thought last year's was tough coming into this year.
I think this year's.
But this one's even tougher. Because I think last year we only had 5 to choose from. This year we now have 7 that we have to choose.
Yeah, because, we had
Bruce.
The 3 we have on Alfie, Marty, and Pano. Then we had Bruce, we had Smith, and we had Sova.
So we had 6, okay.
We had 6 last year.
Okay.
So, one more this year than last year, but it's still more is more.
But I think it was announced right before the season even ended that Caleb was going to be going elsewhere. So we kind of knew that he wasn't going to be one.
And that he had other plans to join the police academy up in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So,
it's tough. Now in between, it all depends on what Anaheim does with Carey. I say if Carey's able to stay, you got to keep Carey. You got to keep your captain. Can't have a different captain for each of the past 4 years now. It would be.
Yeah.
Since COVID.
Since COVID, yeah. Having had captain for multiple years since COVID.
Because the 25th 25th season, the Otters
With D'Amato.
they split it between Selin and D'Amato. Morty then was in his OA year.
Morty, and then Silva before he got traded, and then that's what led up to
Carey being captain.
Carey.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be tough to decide who we want to keep and who we're gonna say, hey, we don't want you.
Yeah,
Not that we don't want you, but it's hockey, it's business. You got to choose one or the other. And unfortunately, you didn't make the cut.
That actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the last time we had the carryover captain was 17-18 into 18-19 season.
Would that have been Yetman?
Kyle Maximovich.
Maximovic, okay.
Maximovich was the 17-18, and then halfway through the 18-19 season when he got traded. And 19-20, before the cancellation, was Duffman.
Duff, yeah, Jack Duff, wow.
Yeah, as Ethan would say, yeah, I jacked Duff earlier.
Yeah, this is a little kind of a trivia question I came up with last night, and I figured I was going to ask it tonight. So as of right now, Sam Alfano has 37 goals. Malcolm Spence is 1 away from 30 at 29. Pano is 3 away from 30 at 27. So the Erie has a chance to have 2, possibly 3 30-goal scorers. When was the last time the Erie Otters had more than one 30-goal scorer, and who were they?
It was the championship run. So the 16-17 season,
Yeah.
it would have been Stromer, ADB, and I want to say Fogle, because Fogle was on that team.
I want to say it was Taylor Radish.
So it's either Fogle or one of the Radish brothers. Well, Taylor, because Taylor's four.
Taylor was a forward. Darren is defenseman. So I'm saying ADB, Strome, and Taylor Radish.
And
You are right, but it was only 2. It was only ADB and Taylor Radish. Strome only had 22 goals that year.
oh,
But think, he spent a good, first 20 games of our season still up in Arizona. So he missed a good 10, 15 games with us. That year he only played 35 games with us that year. And still had 22 goals and 75 points in not many games. But yeah. So ADB had 65, Taylor Radish had 42. Total points, ADB had 127. Taylor Radish had 109.
I think he will end up winning the Ray Telsinger trophy that year.
Yeah.
ADB.
the fact is that we had 2 100-plus point getters on that team. It could have damn well been 3 if Dylan was down here in the area instead of up
I
in
can
Arizona.
only assume that's the last time that happened too, where we had 2 100-point getters.
Yeah, because that the season after, when we took the drop off, I don't think anybody got above 70.
That's the last time. Yeah, that's the last time we had a single 100-point score. Closest we've had looks like it was Pano last year with 76.
Because I know he's close to actually having his career high, Pano.
Yeah. Because he leads the team in points right now at 74. Alfie only one behind him at 73. So, I don't think we're going to get 100 point. Definitely going to see an 80, maybe 85. It's going to be tough. We got only 7 games left here, but hopefully we can see Pano get to 80. And I'd like to see us get 3 30-goal scorers. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 20-goal scores.
Okay, I see now. I kind of cheated one a little bit farther back. It was the 14-15 regular season. We had 3 30-plus goal scorers.
Okay. 3 30-plus.
3. ADB led the way at 51.
McDavid.
Stromer at 45, and then McDavid was in 3rd with 44.
Yeah, sounds right.
But that was actually no, right?
So rookie Stromer had 40 led the team goals.
No, an ADB led the team.
Oh, rookie ADB.
51, because people didn't take him seriously. He's too small. He's not gonna make it into professional hockey. He's too small. Look at what happened.
He's still doing good with Detroit.
He's
Top,
too
top
small.
3 on his team, if not, might be the best.
He's too small. He's not gonna make it in pro hockey.
I know we got saying that about a couple guys we have right now. Like I heard somebody overheard behind this last night saying, "Oh, Pano's he's got the skills, but he doesn't have the size." It's a good point. It really is. He's got the skill, but he just doesn't have the size. And I heard that last night. I was like, that's honestly a really good way to describe Pano. That's a very good way. He's only, 5'7", 5'8" himself?
Something like...
But Dylan's only 5'6", 5'7".
I said, Notre Dame must have really liked his playing style because they signed him for next year.
Pano Themis, 5'11".
He's 5'11"?
5'11".
Really? Maybe they weren't talking about Pano that I overheard.
No, they were.
Were they?
No, we're talking about Pano. Because I remember I overheard him talking about
it was the guy directly behind me who was talking about him.
I know you and him are making just, small talking here and there once or twice, but...
Yeah. Man, he seemed like a good guy.
He seemed like he knew his shit, too. Some of the stuff he was saying, like, he knew what he was talking about. And
yeah,
the average fan that's like, oh, we suck. Like, winning 3-2. What do you mean we suck?
Yeah, not one to blow smoke up your ass, but, I mean, he knew enough to get by, but I don't... Obviously, not knowing the guy, it's tough to say.
Yeah.
All of what he knew.
Yeah, I mean, so one last time going back to the OAs, man, it's tough. Next year, it's going to be very, very tough. Dave Brown, Chris Millet's going to have some very tough decisions to make for who they want to keep. Like you said, with Chris Millet's system, I think McCall would fit a lot better than Sods. Unless that's something that Sods really decides to work on in the offseason and in camp and shit to, be more physical.
And
so be it.
Was really showing this weekend,
Sods, McCall, Frazier were all laying bodies, dude. So we even saw Holamigo make a couple hits that we're not used to seeing him do.
On Friday and then Saturday time, making a couple of hits. Obviously making those stupid penalties, but
was it 25 seconds into the game?
29 seconds in.
And when it was a very weak call, but a penalty's a penalty. There's a lot of really horrible weak calls yesterday. They were calling the most, why the fuck did you call that? And then missing the most obvious ones. I'm like, it's typical OHL refereeing there. But yeah, no, dude, with Chris Millett in here, dude,
I'm really
you can just overall tell, just not even just by play. I mean, yeah, mostly by play style, but just some of the interviews, the sound bites that some of the players are doing, just overall, and the post game interviews, just how much more electric and how much more fun these kids and these players are seeming to have with Chris. I think they're calling him Maui. Behind the bench now, you can tell these last 2 games they're playing for him. And I love how they showed Ken and Chris on the scoreboard Friday night for almost after every goal, just cheering the fans on and going crazy with us.
Actually, so funny enough, a couple players stopped in my store the other day.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Tuesday, actually.
Okay.
And I know one of the guys that I kind of talked to was Malcolm Spence. And I was like, hey, if you don't mind me asking, what was said down there on the ice? He was like, oh, just a bunch of nonsense. At that point, I was like, oh, it's nice to see you guys, actually rallying. He's like, yeah, the whole team admits we're his boys. We're his team. So, just the energy that he had, that Sods had, I think Oliver Phillips was also with them. So just the energy, just they all fucking perked up and they're like, yeah, we're his fucking team. Like this, it's time to go.
So that's the kind of coach that Erie has needed, man. Is that coach that is willing to not only stick up for the team, but literally step into the line of fire to stick up and stick up for this team. That's what we've been needing for a very long time now. Haven't seen that since probably, like I said, No Block, since he was down here.
I said definitely since No.
I know Hartsburg was kind of showing signs of it towards the beginning of his tenure here and kind of died off and just ended up kind of doing not much of anything. BJ was absolutely terrible from the start. Then Stan came in. Obviously, he came in when we were bottom of the barrel. Didn't have a whole lot of. I mean, we really liked how we looked in the last month of that season. Then obviously last season we really liked how we looked with Stan in there, and then kind of this year with Stan was just kind of falling off and wasn't the same. Obviously, we know what happened. We don't know entirely what happened, but we know the basis or the synopsis of what happened. But yeah, like I said, just all together, the energy and the will, the want to win with this team as of right now, I think is the best I've seen it. At least since I became a season 2 holder.
It's been so much fun. I love seeing this energy, especially in this energy I've enjoyed because first time we're seeing a very exciting team like this. Obviously last year was pretty fun too, but since obviously the 16-17 season run, and like it's just I love seeing the energy behind the players and just in the coaching staff. Like,
Yeah, no offense. I mean, I think anybody can admit this. This team obviously isn't as skilled as that team was.
no,
But you can tell the thrive to win is just as much as it was then. So, I mean, a lot of those guys on that team knew, obviously, Stromer, DeBrincat, Fogel, Radish. They knew that, hey, with this team, this is probably our last shot at this. Because we're losing Stromer, we're going to lose ADB, we're going to lose
Taylor Radish.
We were there. Also,
Oh no,
Sorelli.
Darren.
because Taylor played with us the following year for a little bit, and then
got
they
traded.
got traded to Sioux.
Yeah, and then obviously, Sorelli was going to be leaving, so they knew, like, hey, this is the best this team is going to get. We need to win now.
That's why they called it that year's playoffs, the all-in playoff run, and that.
Yeah, because we pretty much were. We traded for what? Sorelli, who was an OA, we traded for an OA that year. I don't think Fogel was. I think he had
was
one
as
more.
well.
He was too? So who was the OAs that year? Was it just...
Strom, Fogel, Sorelli. ADB was not.
I thought he was the year that year. Or was he just due to go up because they knew he was probably going up to the bigs the next year?
I think it's just due. He was going to be going.
Just with how good he was doing, they knew he was already drafted. He wasn't an OA, but he was already drafted.
So Radish is in 98, ADB is in 97, Pettit is in 9. So does Pettit, has the 96. Stromer was 97, but they knew he was going to go up. Sorry. about that.
Pettit, Fogel.
Fogel's in 96.
So Pettit, Fogel, and Sorelli.
Darren Radish.
Darren Radish, okay.
Sorelli is 97.
He's 97, okay.
Okay.
But again, they also probably thought he was going to go up, so. But still, like we said, yeah, that year was just the all, like you said, they called it the all-in. Probably won't have that happen again. Probably not this year, but like I said, this team has just as much drive to win as that team did, I think, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, that's why I think so. The drive, the win.
I know, like, we even have, like, Sportsnet Pittsburgh is actually picking up to broadcast another. They already did one earlier this month, and they're doing another one Wednesday against Sarnia to broadcast the Otters game. The fact that we have, a station like that, broadcasts the Penguins, the Pirates, that wants to broadcast a team like Erie, in the OHL, team you wouldn't normally see on a big broadcasting station like that. That just shows how much this team, how much they want this team to be looked at and to not be overlooked and to be, oh, we don't want to watch this team. People want to watch this team. So, we just spent 30 minutes talking about the Otters.
No, you know what would be better instead of being broadcasted to the world? Come to the fucking games. Make the drive to Erie. Spend the $20 to get into the arena. Bums in seats, people. Bums in seats.
I was actually just saw a fan comment on one of the fan pages, saying he literally just he's been to he bought the 10-game package, whatever, the flex package for this year. And he said let's right in Pittsburgh, and that
probably might have been the same guy you and I spoke to briefly at
it was.
Sonic. Yeah,
It was.
and
I think he's really the only guy from Pittsburgh that drives up on a regular basis. So.
Yeah, him and his son. Me and him spoke to him when they had that meetup at Sonic.
Oh, really?
We spoke to him, for a couple minutes.
Yeah, he said that he just bought the full package, season tickets for
The full package, nice.
next year now. He said so the drive sucks, but he's it's worth it, coming up to the games.
Oh yeah. Not always, but it's worth it the majority of the time.
Well, it depends what time of the year it is. Because it could be great, early on in the season, late in the season, but that December, January push, especially with
The weather.
Lake Erie.
Trying to get at least, I'd say maybe to Meadville from 79,
It's so...
79 from here to Meadville is usually pretty fucking rough.
Mostly between 90 and Meadville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
It's pretty
rough. When it comes to our winter, it's unpredictable.
And, Pittsburgh doesn't get a whole shit ton of snow. They
It's
maybe
just
get
cold.
usually maybe half the amount we get. They get the chill, yeah. They still get the cold part of it. They get maybe half the amount of snow we usually get, and about a quarter of what Buffalo gets.
Well, actually, do you see that Erie's number? Oh, as of right now,
We're not
number 2.
Yeah, we got. I don't know who beat us out.
Syracuse.
Was it Syracuse? Wow.
By 1 inch right now.
1 inch.
Which you know a lot about that, right?
Hey, it's average size, okay? Anyways, Jeff kicks off. What do we got the rest of the OHL going on?
kind of a interesting fact that in the last 2 months, the Kingston Frontenacs went undefeated in the month of January and February, 12-0, and then contributed to a franchise record on home ice to a 14-game win streak.
On home ice?
Yeah.
In January, February? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
pretty impressive.
Between the 2 months combined, home and away, they were 12-0.
Wow.
So that's kind of
in February?
January and February combined.
12-0 altogether?
Yeah, 12-0 between home and away games, but of their 14 games they had on home ice in those 2 months, 14-0.
Wow.
So I thought that was kind of really interesting. Back on the 2nd of March, Maple Leafs prospect Ethan Cohen gets his first career OHL hat trick versus the Oshawa Generals. On the 3rd, Finn Harding of the Brantford Steelheads signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I'm excited.
I'm actually excited about.
I'm very excited about that. Is he in OA for Mississauga or no? Or Brampton? Sorry.
Let me check that.
I think that might be the first time I've actually accidentally seen Mississauga this year.
He's had an average a point or two per game this.
Wow. So is he in OA or?
That's what I'm actually checking.
Or say 05. What could be next year?
That's what I'm kind of curious. He's in 05. He actually his birthday was on the 2nd, so.
Okay.
So I thought that was.
So yeah. It was his birthday last recording day.
Yeah. So that's it.
So he'll be in OA next year. Okay.
Yeah. He's at, just this season alone, he's had 55 points and that.
He's a defenseman, isn't he? That's pretty good for a defenseman in this league, yeah.
A point, he's averaging 2 points per game in that.
Well, not 2 points per game.
I've kind of looked at recently,
How many games has he played then?
I'd say in 61 games.
55 points. Well, that's not 2 points per game. That's like point. Oh, it's almost a point per game.
Yeah.
It's very close to a point per game.
Yeah, I do like that signing a lot.
Yeah, I'm not too bad with that one. And we'll get to the rest of the trade deadline here soon. My thoughts on that for the Penguins. So.
But on the 4th of March, Trent Swett of the Kitchener Rangers signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Vegas Golden Knights. Joe Willis of the Kingston Frontenacs signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Nashville Predators. On March 5th, with the assist on Carson Harmer, some goal for the Saginaw Spirit. Calgary Flames prospect Zane Prek becomes the all-time assist leader in Saginaw Spirit's franchise with 147 assists, passing Vincent Trocheck versus Flint.
Vinny Trocheck was a Saginaw Spirit?
Yeah.
Really? Interesting.
Honestly, he's one of 2 numbers in Saginaw, so they have his number retired.
Oh, wow.
Up there. Yeah. I think that when they retired, it was like a few years ago. I know that. Because they did Brandon Saad's last year.
I remember that one, yeah.
That's the only reason I knew they retired it, because they showed it next to his banner. So I didn't know that. On the 6th, Jacob Julian of the London Knights signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Winnipeg Jets. And then on the 7th, head coach Dale Hunter of the London Knights gets his 1,000th CHL win and is the second head coach to reach 1,000 wins versus the Kingston Frontenacs. Vegas Golden Knights prospect Trent Swick of the Kitchener Rangers played in his 200th career OHL game. And in that same game, Noam Maru of the Windsor Spitfire gets his first career OHL hat trick versus Kitchener. Liam Beamish of the Sarnia Sting gets his first career OHL hat trick versus the Guelph Storm. And Garrett Fraser of the Erie Otters gets his first career OHL goal versus the Owen Center.
Boy, Frage.
That was actually a beautiful
goal
from the point. And
damn near from the blue line. Absolutely gorgeous.
Really nice. And then on the 8th...
And his F-bomb at the post-game interview.
That was
fucking cold.
Fucking cold. And on the 8th, Washington Capitals prospect Patrick Thomas of the Brantford Bulldogs played in his 200th career OHL game, and he became the all-time points leader in the franchise with 251 points. Chicago Blackhawks prospect Nick Lardis of the Brantford Bulldogs hits 70 goals and becomes the 8th player to hit that mark in the OHL, and it's the first since John Tavares did it in the 2006-2007 season.
Hit 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit 70. Then as of today's, the 9th, Matthew Miech of the Ottawa 67th played in his 250th career OHL game versus the North Bay Battalion.
Wow.
Nick Lard, I was actually telling Colin last night during the second intermission, I'm like, they got, Chicago has a good goal scorer coming up for their prospects and that.
Yeah.
So he's gonna eventually.
Yeah. And I mean, going back to Dale Hunter, I mean, as much as we talk shit on London, talk shit on Dale Hunter as a whole, the whole city of London as a whole, got to give respect where respect is due.
Yeah.
Dale Hunter, now 1,000 wins as a CHL head coach, 1,000 games played in the NHL, 1,000 points in the NHL. So literally Mr. 1,000 for Dale Hunter there. So
Yeah.
you got to give props where props is due. Can't tell you there's a lot of people that have done that. He might be the only one to have ever done that. I don't know.
And just how many like future Hall of Famers and like Stanley Cup champs that have been under his tenure as head coach.
Gone up to the bigs and won it. I mean, the amount of time that's how many times has he won it with them? 4 or 3?
Let's see. Can't remember on top of my head. Okay, they've won the OHL championship in 2005, 13, 16, and this just
So this was his 4th as a head coach. Wow.
And he's won the Memorial Cup twice in 2005 and 2016.
Not last year. Yeah, that's unbelievable. And didn't they win the President's Trophy or the team trophy last year too?
I'm pretty sure they did last year. Yeah, they did.
So they're winning that back-to-back seasons now. As much as we hate to say it, man, like they're the best team in the league for a reason. There's a good chance that they might repeat going back to the final, but
they're definitely going to be the team to beat, though, for sure.
Easily
This year.
Yeah, we can finally move on to the NHL. Do some Puckdoku first, or do you want to do blind rankings since you already pulled it up first?
Sure. Or actually, we'll do the blind rankings after the NHL news.
Okay.
Well,
so I didn't do any my milestones this week because there wasn't a whole lot, so I was going to do that until next recording. So.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, yeah, we'll do Puckdoku hurdle first. If Jeffy has one, then
I didn't.
You do it again? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do Jeff Collins blind ranking.
So first we'll do hurdle. Do a little different this week. Oh, easy. Damn it!
What gave you that vibe? Just the hair?
Yeah, the hairdo.
So he's in the... Okay, we did this last time too, where we got the division and position right off the bat and didn't get him. Alright, so anybody but Tampa, a center. He's under the age of... Jenkins will 30 now? Fuck.
He's younger than me, he's not American, and he's, his number's 56 or lower.
Okay. He's not American. Let's go to Florida and go to I don't know how old Sam Reinhart is. I think he's also 30. Oh, it's Florida. Let's go.
Nice.
He was 29. Okay, I thought he was right around there.
So yeah, 26.
And his number is somewhere between 16 to 56-ish. And he's below the age of 27, so he's 26 or younger. He's not American or Canadian, so he's not North American.
No, going down the center core, the center, the 4 centers in Florida.
Sasha Barkov, I think, is older than that. I want to say he's like 31 by now.
Yeah. This number would line up, but not his age, and maybe his nationality.
Yeah. I mean, it could even be like they listed him as a center, but he's playing winger right now, so it could be literally just about any forward at this point.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I mean, it could be listed on here as a center, but he could be currently playing like a wing right now for Florida. This isn't even updated. Brad Marchand. We'll get there.
Chucky's not a centerman. He's only a winger.
And he's
His number too.
Yeah, I know Barkov doesn't fit the age criteria.
We could get it for try to get the nationality. Yeah, he's what, Finnish or is he Swedish?
Finnish. No, right. Yeah,
No,
Finnish.
it's Finnish. So it is Finnish.
He's a Finnish forward who is
Barkov's also 29.
Oh wow! So his number is now somewhere in 20 to 55 ish. It's like no, I think it was him last week. Like E2 Esterainen or whatever. Wasn't that who it was last week?
Yeah, but isn't he also Finnish?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, we can always put him.
E2 Esterainen, just to get a guess up there. Did they not update it? Okay, they didn't. I don't think they updated it. I feel like it was him last week too, or somebody with that long last name.
Either way.
Oh, yeah, we got it. So, dope.
What do you say? He's a year and a half younger than me, isn't he?
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, you're going to be 28 this year, aren't you?
Shut the fuck up.
Alright, Puck Doku. Hey,
All right.
okay.
Alright, for the rows, we have St. Louis, Tampa Bay, and 20 plus goals in a season. And for the columns, we got the Penguins, the Preds, and the Colorado Avalanche. So for the Preds, we can do Preds Blues. We could do Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
We
can even go for
can-
Avs Blues too.
Avs Blues as well. Penguins obviously. Penguins St. Louis. You obviously got Kevin Hayes, David Perron, Robert Bertuzzo.
Which I think would be a low percentage one.
Bertuzzo would be Brendan. No, not Brendan Morrow, because Brendan Morrow came from Dallas back in the day.
I think Hayes would be pretty low too.
Kev Hayes.
It's been a while since he played for the Blues, because he was with the Flyers right before us.
Yeah.
So we can do Kevin Hayes, yeah. %, yeah. Penguins, Lightning, Ryan Malone.
That's right.
Or we could go like a Ruslan Fetanko. 2%, yeah. And any Penguin would ever have a 20-goal season.
I had
Alex
a.
Galchenyuk.
Chris Kunitz.
Hold on. Let me pull the clip up. Where is it? Hold on. Where is it? I had on Twitter a long time ago, but Tyler Kennedy? TK.
Did he have a 20-goal season?
I don't remember.
I feel like he had to have. Because he was, it's probably second line for a while.
Or we could do Stalzy, we could do Cookie.
Cookie was never a goal scorer. He was just a piece of shit.
That's
one thing when I have no problem admitting he was a piece of shit.
He's by far my least favorite Penguin for sure.
We're gonna do Stahl. Let's do Stalzy. Jordan Stahl. And here's one for Blues Preds. James Neal.
Yeah.
Blues and Preds?
He played for the Blues for a very short, like at the end of his career. I'm like 95% sure. I'm 95% sure. Yep.
Okay.
Also 2%. Try to keep them all single digits here. So just don't want to go Ryan O'Reilly there then.
Yeah, Steve Stamkos, but it'll be a high percentage, unfortunately.
Preds.
Preds and
yeah.
Preds and Lightning.
Preds Lightning.
Didn't McDonough go over there briefly?
Ryan McDonough?
Yeah.
He's played on both.
That could be a lower one. Yeah, let's go with Ryan McDonough.
Probably be double digits, but
25.
Yeah, I thought that'd be a little lower. Excuse me. 20 goals for Nashville. Would James Neal have done it there? We already used him. Never mind. Can't. It's stupid. 20 goals score for Nashville. Or we throw back and do like a Mike Fisher.
I said Mike Fisher probably.
Or did he ever get 20 in a season though? I feel like he had to.
He had to.
Sorry, Mike Fisher?
I say Mike Fisher. Yeah, okay. 5%. 20 goals for the Avs. This is one of those, you can't disrespect some of the current guys over there. McCarr, McKinnon.
Landeskog,
Rantanen. Well, not anymore.
Well, still, I mean, he's on there, so I don't know.
Go with I don't think Eric Johnson would have ever gotten 20. Let's go. Let's just go McCarr. Just keep it. Give him the respect he deserves, man. Still, I think probably might be the best defenseman in the league right now.
Marker.
It's only a 4%. All right, we're staying under that single digit for most of them. So Avs.
Top right corner, St. Louis, Colorado, could be O'Reilly.
O'Reilly, yeah.
Alright, let's think of a lower percentage.
That's what I'm trying to think.
I feel like a Brian Elliott. I don't think he ever played for the
he's played for Tampa,
Philly. Yeah, some of the greats. Le Cavier, Tampa, Philly. St. Louis.
Ross Colton. Is he on the Avs right now?
I don't know where he is. All I know is he's not on Tampa.
I want to say Ross Colton is on the Avs right now. I'm pretty sure it's Ross Colton. Has Darren Ratch always been on Tampa?
Yeah.
Okay. Taylor Ratch, I know, spent a little bit of time in Chicago. He's been up and down between NHL and
he briefly did with Tampa, but wasn't there long.
I'm not 100% sure on Ross Colton, but I'm more sure than I am not sure.
Well, here.
Yes. Whew, okay.
20%. And then
I think we have to do a rally just to get us that 9 out of 9.
Oh, okay, or don't type that in. That's fine.
Ian O'Reilly. Hell yeah.
9%. And view stats. Other players we could have done. Casper, Chapman for St. Louis.
Reezy. How do we forget about Reezy?
P.O. Joseph.
Oscar Sundquist.
Tom Barrasso.
Noel Chari played for St. Louis.
Bill Guerin, Lars Ellen, Brent Johnson, James Neal, Ian Cole, Ian Stempniak, Thomas Grice, Shane McKee, Bo Bennett.
Bo Bennett played for the Blues?
D'Agostini, quite a few people.
Yeah. What about Penguins Lightning? I want to see that one too.
Jake.
Cooney, we said him earlier too.
Sheary, Malone, Recchi, Ruda, UC Okinen, Fedotenko, Ian Cole, Brian Boyle, Dominguez, Gary Roberts.
Daryl Sador.
Steve Downey, Brendan Morrow,
Greg
McKay,
Chris Joseph.
Wow.
Chris Joseph, not Cujo, unfortunately.
Then letting any 20 point. Okay, cool.
They keep spelling Gino's name wrong.
I know they keep doing the Russian spelling of it.
I know I had bought it.
Let's do the pyramid. I don't think we've done that one in a little bit.
Fuck.
Let's see what we can do here. Any Avs player ever. Curtis McDermott. Just throw it out there. Because I don't think he'd fit anywhere else on that board. So. Avs that have played 500 games. Eric
Johnson.
I'll say Eric Johnson.
Joe Sakic.
Did he win a cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's his nationality? Would he fit the top of the board? Did he play for Carolina? He played for Quebec.
Okay, the only one that I'm confident with... Oh, never mind. I can't even say...
What's Sakic's nationality? Is he just Canadian?
I don't know. Oh.
Well, let's finish these two, and then we can use a hint for those last two. So let's just finish these next two.
Well, I'm thinking the only one for the top could be Mikko Rantanen. Stanley Cup winner. He's Finnish. He's played on both Colorado and on Carolina.
Yeah. So let's see.
The only one that concerns me is the 80-plus season on any team.
I feel like Rantanen has done it.
Probably has, but...
Yeah. So let's just do it for sure then, that we know. Let's do, say, McKinnon. We know he's had an 80... Wait, no, do Makar.
No, he hasn't had 500 games played yet. He's still in the mid to late 400s. He's getting close.
So do Nate then.
Or at least I'm not confident on...
Or did...
No, do...
I say Landeskog for that
do
one.
Do Landeskog first, yeah. Good catch. Do Landeskog first and then Nate Mac. I'm not 100% sure that Landeskog's an 80-point season either.
And then I know McKinnon has.
Yeah, obviously. It's his third year in a row doing it now? Fourth year in a row? Okay, so nationality. This is one where we can do Rantanen. But again, has he done 80 points in a season? We know Sakic has, but what's Sakic's nationality? So use a hint here.
Good lifeline.
Player card, fill in the blank, or 50-50. Let's do fill in the blank. Timu. Oh, Timu. Yeah. When did he play for the fucking Avs?
Was it before his time?
T-E-E.
Is it before he went to Anaheim?
Maybe. Then who's that top one? Is that going to be Sakic or is that going to be... No, it can't be Sakic. If they're counting the Nordiques as well, I feel like it could be Sakic. But again, I'm not 100% sure on his nationality.
Do we want to use another lifeline?
Do you realize I do 50-50? Why don't you give us Sakic or Rantanen? Yeah, let's do 50-50. Rantanen or Curry? Rantanen, yeah, okay. It's just the 80 point season was scaring me.
Rantanen's the only answer for the top one.
Answer,
yeah.
Okay.
And then Timu, Yuri, Courier.
Now that it's going, what is Sakic's nationality? I know his last name's a trickster, so I think he is only just Canadian. Yeah, he is. Okay, Sakic is Canadian. His name just throws you off. He's from Burnaby, Canada.
Okay.
Went 2 for 2.
I was right though. Okay, on the Nordiques Avalanche franchise. For some reason, I thought the Whalers turned into the Hurricanes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I would have been wrong. So I thought the Nordiques was Carolina.
No, because they literally won. Immediately right after they moved from Quebec, they won the Stanley Cup in Colorado.
That's right. Yeah. Cool. All right, Colin's blind drinking time. What do we got this week, Colin?
All right. Let me pull it up. So, it's actually kind of fitting for this week because it's excuse me. It's trade deadline players who were traded this past trade deadline.
Just specifically this past trade deadline.
Yeah, specifically this past trade deadline.
Oh, motherfucker. Right. So many big names he could not give us. So many small names he could give us.
Or I'm sorry, this Not that this trade deadline, but this NHL calendar year.
Okay.
So it could be anywhere between July 1st of 2024 to,
Current day.
well, yesterday.
Yeah.
Or Friday, I'm sorry, to March 7th of 2025. First up, Mackenzie Blackwood to, I believe he's to Colorado.
Colorado, because they got both Scott Wedgwood and
Blackwood. So from San Jose to Colorado.
No disrespect, but is this a 5 right off the bat?
I think so, because it was a
Or do we want to do it for? Because I'd be safe with him being 4 or 5. Do 4 just in case he gives us like an absolute garbage name.
Yeah.
So you want to go 4 or do you want to go 5?
I want to go. I would say 4. Though.
4? Okay.
Alright, next up. Capo Caco from the New York Rangers to Seattle.
Okay. I mean, he's a good middle of the pack player, especially like who could have been dealt this year.
I know multiple times he was rumored in recent years. He was rumored to be traded, so like it was kind of somewhat expected.
Mm-hmm. I think the timing wasn't. It was like just out.
It's just the
boom out of nowhere. Boom. Capital goes going to Seattle. Like, fuck. I'd say 3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
I think
3.
That's a perfect like middle of the pack guy.
However the fuck you spell his name. Alright, number 3 on the list. From Chicago to Florida, Seth Jones.
And he's better than Kako for sure.
Yeah.
But is he worth number 2 on this list? There's honestly, realistically, out of everybody that was traded this year, I can only think of maybe 1 or 2 off the top of my head that could be above Seth Jones. Knowing this asshole, he could give us both of those 2 players, or he could give us neither one of them. There's one that is so super obvious, I feel like he might not give us. Oh, fuck. I almost want to put him at 1 because of that. I feel like he might not give us. You know what I'm talking about, too. That he might not give us. Oh, he does. Oh, my God. I hate you so much. Oh.
I fucking love torturing you guys. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, honestly, yes, the guy I'm thinking of is better than Seth Jones, but I wouldn't be irate if we put Jones over him. I'll leave you the final call of 1 or 2. 2? Okay.
Number 4 on the list. Mikko Rantanen from Colorado to Carolina.
Why he didn't specifically from Carolina to Colorado, or Colorado to Carolina?
Wait.
Why are you specifically saying from Colorado to Carolina?
Well, because obviously all the shit that went down to Carolina, and I didn't want to say from Carolina to Dallas because we've only seen him in 1 game thus far with Dallas.
That's fair. Okay.
We have more info on Carolina than we do Dallas.
Again, he could. That's one of them too. That's one of those 2 that I was thinking of. Is that other one that he could? That if he does, he's in clear number 1, and he's not a number 5. But I'm sure Colin would be fine if we put him at 5.
I don't know. Am I?
I mean, Rantanen's not a 5 though, but he's not really a 1.
He's just.
I fucking love torturing you guys. I hope you know. I fucking love it.
Oh my god.
You're calling this one this time.
1.
Alright, and then for this.
you're such a jackass. Yeah, you're such a jackass. I'm gonna black out the screen so we can't see it. Oh, you're such an asshole. You're such a jackass. Number 5. Okay. Woo! Mikael Granlund. I'm okay. That's honestly a perfect list.
Yeah.
There could be argument for 1 and 2 to be swapped. I know some people would argue probably. Honestly, I think that might be one of our most perfect lists we've had so far.
Yeah.
3 and 4 probably, again, could have some argument there.
I'm not gonna lie, I was debating about doing 6 on this list instead of 5. Just because of Brad Marchand.
That's the one. I was like, Rantanen and Marchand, I'm like, he's going to give us both of them, or he's not going to give us either one. Or that's honestly a perfect list there. That might be our most perfect one so far.
Again,
I'm not disappointed with that one.
I fucking love torching you guys. I hope you know.
I'll take that. I'm not disappointed with that one.
Alright, now into the only reason, well, not the only reason, but the biggest reason why we got together on this recording evening is for the review of the trade deadline. We're going back to March 4th because that was the first trade post our last recording, or even our last release. So here we go. March 4th, Oilers acquired Trent Frederick, Martin Jones, and Max Jones. Sorry. In a 3-team trade also involving the Bruins and the Devils. Boston requires a prospect, a second-round pick in 25, and a fourth-round pick in 26. And New Jersey acquires a prospect.
On March 5th, the Florida Panthers acquire goalie Vitek Vanacek from the San Jose Sharks for Patrick Gillis. As well on the 5th, Tampa Bay Lightning acquire for Oliver Bjorkstrand, Yanni Gord, and defenseman Kyle for multiple picks. This was a 3-way trade with Detroit. Seattle acquires Michael Amson, multiple picks. And then Detroit acquires a 4th and 4th round pick in 2025.
On March 5th, San Jose acquires legend Vincent Desharnais from the Pittsburgh Penguins for a 5th round pick in the 2028 NHL Draft. Also on the 5th, the Nashville Predators acquired Michael Bunting and a 4th round pick in the 26th Draft from the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for defenseman Luke Schenn and forward Tommy Novak.
Pittsburgh legends.
Pittsburgh led 2 legends right there, Luke Schenn and Vincent Desharnais.
Also, starting on the 6th, it's the Panthers acquire Sturm in a 7th and 27 for San Jose, from San Jose for a 4th rounder in 26. The Devils acquire defenseman Brian Dumoulin from Anaheim for a prospect and a second round pick in 25.
Also on the 6th, Winnipeg Jets acquire. I went down a little bit. New Jersey Devils acquired defenseman Brian.
Already did.
Yeah,
You're right. You're the Winnipeg Jets one.
Okay. Winnipeg Jets acquire Chris Drider from the Florida Panthers for goalie Capo Kakkonen. And then the Vegas Golden Knights acquire Riley Smith from the New York Rangers for Brendan Brinson and a 3rd round pick in the 2025 draft.
Also on the 6th, Rangers acquired defenseman Carson Soucy from Vancouver for a 3rd round pick. There's another one on the 6th. The Wild acquired Justin Brazeau in exchange for Marat Kushdinikov and Jacob Luako and a 6th round pick. And then also on the 6th, Colorado Avalanche acquired forwards Brock Nelson and William not to be confused with William Dafoe. William Dufour from the New York Islanders in exchange for forwards Callum Ritchie, defenseman Oliver Killington, and a 1st round pick in 26 or 27, and a 3rd round in 28.
The New York Times trade William Dufour. Skim forward to March 7th. The Oilers acquire Jake Wallman. I don't like that guy. It's his. I think it's just his goal celebration. Oh, we gotta hit the gritty as a professional. Like, no, you're a professional. You don't gritty. Anyway, the Oilers acquired Jake Wallman from San Jose for a conditional first-round pick in the 26th draft and forward prospect, as well as on the 7th, the Capitals acquire Anthony Bolivier from the Penguins in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2025 NHL draft.
Fleeced. Get fleeced, Washington.
On the 7th, Ottawa Senators acquire forward Dylan Cousins, defenseman Dennis Gilbert, and a second-round pick to the 2026 NHL draft from the Sabres, and the Sabres receive Josh Norris and defenseman Jacob Bernard Docker.
It's not a bad move, honestly. There, I don't hate that one. Also on the 7th, the Kings acquire. Well, everyone from here on out was on the 7th on deadline day. The Kings acquired Andrei Kuzmenko and a 7th-round pick in the 25 draft from the Flyers in exchange for a 3rd in the 27 draft. And the Jets acquire defenseman legend Luke Shen from the Pittsburgh Penguins for a 2nd in 26th and a 4th in 27. Again, fleeced by Kyle Dubas.
Here's one that Ethan is really excited about and shared in one of our chats.
Which believe it or not, he's quite in the minority. I know a lot of fans aren't happy with this one.
I'm not surprised, but
it's Ethan.
Ethan's always a special lad. The Red Wings acquired goaltender Peter Mrazek and forward Craig Smith from Chicago for forward Joey Veleno, and the Winnipeg Jets reacquire forward Brandon Tanev from the Seattle Kraken for a second-round pick in the 2027 NHL draft.
Ethan will be like, fuck yeah, we got Milan Lucic. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, boys. Yeah, we just got a 63-year-old Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, we got Gordie Howe. God rest his soul.
On the Toronto Maple Leafs acquire forward Scott Layton for a 4th round in the 2025 and then a 6th round in the 2027. And while Philly requires Nikita Grebkin and a 1st-round pick in the 2027 draft.
Trying to look for the bigger names here. No offense to some of these smaller bottom 6 guys, but
well, I was gonna say you got Charlie.
Colorado Avalanche acquired forward Charlie Coyle and a 5th-round pick in the 2026 draft from the Boston Bruins in exchange for Casey Middlestat, William Zellers, and a 2nd-round pick in 2025. As well as Colorado Avalanche acquiring defenseman Eric Johnson from the Philadelphia Flyers for forward Giovanni Smith. Boston sold heavily.
Yeah.
Was nice for them to sell as much as they did.
The Blackhawks acquire a prospect and Victor Soderblom and Shea Weber's contract from the Utah Hockey Club for a 5th-round pick in 26.
Shea Weber, Utah Hockey Club legend.
Arizona Hockey Club legend. All right.
Legend.
Dallas.
That'd be Chicago Blackhawks legend.
And then the second part of this, the Stars acquire Ranton from the Hurricanes for a prospect of two conditional first round picks, 1 in 26 and 1 in 28, a 3rd-round pick in 26, and a 3rd-round pick in 27.
Wow. I mean, that's one of the bigger ones of this deadline. I mean, we talked about that just now in the blind rankings. Obviously not the biggest one, but one of the biggest ones of this deadline.
I'm just trying to see which ones are kind of somewhat.
If you just want to do those next 3, just quickly.
Alright. New Jersey Devils acquire for Cody Glass and John Gruden from the Pittsburgh Penguins for forwards Chase Stillman and Max Graham for a 3rd-round pick in 2027. The Carolina Hurricanes acquire forward Mark Jankowski from the Nashville Predators for a 5th-round pick in 2026.
Penguins legend.
And New Jersey acquires forward Daniel Sprong from the Seattle Kraken for a 7th-round pick in 2026.
Keeping it going, Ottawa Senators acquired forwards Fabian Zetterlund and Tristan Robbins and a 4th-round pick in 2025 in exchange to the Sharks for forwards Zach Ostapchuk and Noah Gregor and a 2nd-round pick in 25. Pittsburgh Penguins acquired defenseman Connor Timmins and forward Connor Duar from the Toronto Maple Leafs for a 5th-round pick in 2025, which I believe they are part of a 3-team trade, which I think was also involving the Bruins. So I think this one was included in the Carlo trade, which Colin will get to here.
Right now, it's Toronto will acquire defenseman Brendan Carlo from the Bruins for a prospect, a conditional 1st-round in 26, and a 4th-round pick in the 2025 drafts. Now, the last one that we're going to be going over, I think, is the tipping point of why we decided to record. One of the third last trade to be declared officially. Florida Panthers acquire forward Brad the Rat Marchand from the Boston Bruins for a conditional 2nd-round pick in 2027.
For a 2nd-round pick.
2nd round. Like,
Conditional.
It's just absolutely insane.
I was not really. It didn't come on my radar that Marchand was on the trading block at all. I did not honestly see that one.
Yeah,
I heard some rumors, but it was definitely not on my radar whatsoever.
I saw once healthy what that second line could look like. Chucky, Sam Bennett, and Brad Marchand. That is going to be the most hated line in the history of hockey.
Three of the 4 most hated players currently in the NHL right now. Obviously,
Sam Bennett, I don't think is talked about enough. He should be more hated than he is. I think he's a little rat bastard, not to be a punny there, but
you got 3 of the 4, assuming everybody's healthy and everything. Obviously number 4 being Tom Wilson, but
that is going to be easily the most hated and probably the most feared line in this upcoming playoffs. Like, that is going to be a scary fucking line to play against.
I just can't wait to see it.
I mean, two of those 3 can be really good goal scorers, obviously being Brad Marchand and Tkachuk. Bennett just being that one to just get in your fucking face, get off my team, make a play if he needs to. And then obviously the 2 goal scorers can obviously drop the gloves and throw some fists if they need to as well. That is going to be a scary line when everybody's healthy. A top 6 even of Verhaeghe, Barkov, Reinhart, and then Chucky, Bennett, and Marchand. My God.
Oh man.
The thing is, with all the the acquisitions that they made, and now goaltending tandem of Vitek Vanacek and Sergei Bobrovsky, can we see this team repeating?
They will be in consideration for repeating them.
I can very easily see it.
That's also assuming if they can come out of the Atlantic unscathed, if they can make it to the conference finals unscathed. That's the thing. Obviously, we saw Matthew Tkachuk.
Tampa is looking really good again this year. I can see them having the chance to make it back.
They might be at least a lot better contenders, like compared to last year against Florida. If they,
we all know what happens every time they make it, but you have to give credit to where credit's due. Toronto's looking really good this year. Like I said, we all know what usually happens, but they're looking really good right now. I think they're 2nd in the Atlantic. I think top 3. I think it goes Florida, Toronto, Tampa, or Florida, Tampa, Toronto.
Florida, Toronto, Tampa,
okay.
Top 3. Ottawa is in the number 4 spot.
Ottawa.
They've been actually honestly quietly good.
They're in the wild card spot right now.
Yeah, Florida, Toronto, Tampa, Ottawa, Detroit, Montreal, Boston, and Buffalo.
Wow.
And honestly, everybody...
Boston's second to last in that division?
And honestly, everybody's in that hunt, Looking at the rest of the East there, between I think the 2 that are in the wild card spot, Columbus and Ottawa, and then the teams to follow that are honestly within striking distance. You got the Rangers, Detroit, Montreal, Boston, and the Islanders. Realistically, are all within striking range of that second wild card spot. Now, I can't see the Islanders. I mean, unless they win their game tonight against Anaheim,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Boston. I really can't see many teams striking to get the second wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, that if back on track, if Florida can get through the first 2 rounds unscathed, they are going to go all the way, getting past that Atlantic division.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever comes out on top will win the Stanley Cup because they are the division to beat them.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird that usually it used to be the Metro was the division to beat.
It seems
Back
to
when, Washington was winning every year, Pittsburgh, the Rangers were on a really good stretch there, even Philly was on a good stretch for a while there. Columbus had a good couple years there.
Well, it seems to be rotating every couple of years. I mean, I think from 2010 to 2015, when those cups were raised, it was between the Central, because Chicago, and the Pacific with LA, and then it switched over to the Metro from
15 to 20 to 20.
Well, say the 16 Stanley Cup to probably about the 19 Stanley Cup when the Metro was pretty dominant, and now the Atlantic has kind of taken over from 20 to now, where you got Tampa in 3 consecutive years, and you got Florida back-to-back years, so it's gonna change here soon. But watch out for the fucking Atlantic, man.
Yeah, Atlantic's a very scary division this year, man. And I mean, some of the teams that are improving heavily, like Detroit has obviously been improving, not doing nothing but that the past 4 seasons.
Ottawa's actually fine.
Ottawa's starting to look really good. Montreal is starting to kind of show signs of life and signs of hope. The only one not is Buffalo, because it's Buffalo. But we're going to be going back there here on officially going back to Penguins versus Sabres again. Getting the first time in like 2 years that we're going to a game together.
Wait, which we'll talk about that more once the time comes, but
We should have another recording by the time that happens, so we'll talk about it more next recording. Real quickly, before we get wrapped up here, some winners and losers of this year's trade deadline.
winners, Florida Panthers.
Yes.
Florida, I think, is the clear-cut winner.
Okay, Toronto's up there too, getting Brandon Carlo and getting Scott Lofton.
I know Steve Dangle is kind of losing his mind there a little bit because he's like, "What are you doing? Like, you got to do something there, Toronto." But
and all of a sudden later on, it was Scott Lofton's a Toronto Maple, and then Brandon Carlo is a Toronto Maple Leaf. I know he wasn't too happy about Timmins and Dewar coming over to Pittsburgh. Obviously, that's Kyle Dubas's team. That's some of his boys. I know he had Timmins both in Toronto and in Sioux. And then Dewar just very briefly in Toronto as well. I know I believe he drafted both of those guys. So
Dallas is another big winner. I feel like just because
Rantanen alone makes them a winner. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously you got some supporting cast around them, but Mikko Rantanen is going to make that top 6 a whole lot more dangerous outside of Jason Robertson, outside of Jordan Kyrou, outside of Wyatt Johnson. Like that's you got your big 4 forwards right there. They could be really scary.
I think the number one sleeper winner honestly is Pittsburgh. The amount of draft picks that we got back in this, we got a lot of getting some young talent in to make up that bottom 6, who's still pretty old for being bottom 6. I think we're a sleeper. I wouldn't say we're top 5 winner. We are a sleeper winner. Not enough people are talking about the amount of work Dubas did.
I'm honestly glad with what Dubas managed to do.
Over the next 3 drafts, we have 18 picks in the first 3 rounds. That's ridiculous. That is insane.
I also say that I think the third winner on my list is Colorado.
Colorado's another.
Yeah. They got EJ back. Yeah. Which that's a big bolster veteran presence.
They got Brock Nelson too. That's a veteran name, a very tough guy to fill in here. Probably maybe second to third line there.
Yeah, mid 6, especially with Landeskog being out now for possibly forever. You need somebody to fill in behind Nate Mack, and Nelson can be that guy. Not long term, but for now.
And I think very easily to choose the losers being the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
Boston.
Horribly.
Buffalo.
Buffalo, I mean, they didn't do much. I mean, they got rid of Dylan Cousins. I mean,
But
that's probably
just
one of your
did jack.
sleeper best players on that team.
Well, you lost Cousins, but you gained Norris, so it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of a wash.
I mean, can we really say any teams that didn't do anything a loser? Because they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. The Sharks, I know, didn't do a whole lot at all.
The only team that I can think of as losers outside of Boston is the New York Islanders.
Yeah.
They did something. They traded away Brock Nelson.
Yeah.
They did something.
But the Devils got a bunch
They
of...
were already boring to begin.
The Devils got a couple of nice guys, but I mean, the best player that I can name off the top of my head is Brian Dumoulin. And that's the best player you could acquire.
And that's they got a second or third pairing defenseman.
I also got they got Cody Glass in that trade. I believe Cody Glass is who went to New Jersey. And they got another former Penguin being Daniel Sprong too, I believe. But then those are like the three best names that you can mention.
But I'm just not impressed by New Jersey's trade deadline.
Honestly, another one that's like kind of like a sleeper loser, the Rangers. They did not get much. They did not get rid of much. They just kind of brought in a couple guys that are like and lost a couple guys that are just eh.
Well, when you lose your four big names, Capo Kakko, Riley Smith, Jacob Trouba, Ryan Lindgren, I feel like those guys are more losers
They
than
brought
anything.
in the Rangers. They bring in Carson Soucy.
Oh.
Kind of big whoop, and they get rid of Riley Smith. Oh. I mean, Riley Smith is going back to where he's kind of shined and where he's kind of blown his whole career being in Vegas.
And honestly, he wants to be in Vegas. He really he wants to retire as a misfit per se. He wants to retire as a Golden Knight. So it makes sense for him to go back to Vegas. But
and one last sleeper winner for me is the Tampa Bay Lightning. They brought in
Yanni Gordon.
Bring Yanni Gordon back. Bringing in Oliver Bjorkstrand is really going to help them there on the back end there. I get some veteran help there besides Hedman. But yeah, I mean, I can probably see him playing on the second line probably with Darren Radish, to be honest. Or even put him next to Chernak. But I mean, yeah, it was very exciting. Ended up the first couple hours of deadline day were like, we gonna get anything today? Like, I don't think anything really started happening until about 11, 12 o'clock. I woke up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock that morning, turned on my TV, and I started waiting for trades and shit. And like nothing started happening until like 12, 1 o'clock. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. I was like, holy shit. And obviously, the biggest one, Brad Marchand going to Florida, was just completely unexpected. I mean, there was rumors out, but I didn't believe it because rumors are rumors. I was like, there's no shot they're going to get Brad Marchand.
Actually, our grandfather texted me earlier in the day, I think around like 9 o'clock. He was like, hey, do you think Marchand's going to land anywhere? And I was like, no, I doubt it. I mean, nobody's going to want to pick up his contract, especially at his age. And boy, was I friggin' wrong.
I said, there's no shot. There's no shot Boston's getting rid of him. But then, boom, all of a sudden, literally within the last 30 minutes, they're like, Brad Marchand's going to Florida. I was like,
that's why
I texted them. I was like, guys, Brad Marchand's going to Florida. They're like, what? I was like, there's no shot.
That's why I didn't have Marshall on my radar whatsoever.
I mean, I did not see it happening at all, but obviously it happened.
Surprise.
Yeah, it's... Actually, listen, there's one more thing that I wanted to mention. Yeah, I already forgot it, like, just now. But, yeah, I can't... There's one last thing I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember it now. I thought it had to do with Marchand, but... Oh, yeah, we did... I asked these guys before, briefly, like, who's going to be the next captain of Boston? You guys said... Pasta has said he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do it.
What Colin said, I didn't actually know that he didn't want to be captain.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, Pasta doesn't
I
want
had
to be...
completely forgot about him, which is kind of embarrassing. He's obviously the best player on that team now. The only other player that comes to mind is Charlie McAvoy. That's how you're rocking Pasta. So
And it's going to be, C-Mac over there.
Probably C-Mac. I mean, let me pull up the roster right now, just in case we're missing so many other names. I mean, some of the other ones that could have. Brandon Carlo. Nope, he's gone. Trent Frederick could have been maybe an A. Nope, he's gone.
Nope, joke's on you.
See, a current roster, only names that pop up, or that pop out. Pasternak, McAvoy. That's about it. Pavel Zacha, I can see him maybe getting an A. Maybe. He's been there for a little bit. How long has he been there? He's been there for 4. This is 4th year there now, or 3rd season there. Depending, I see maybe 3-4 years down the road if he stays there, Casey Middlestat can maybe eventually become an A.
Yeah.
But
I think he was one when he was up in Buffalo, like an A, but that was last year.
The other one I can see
year.
them maybe giving the C2 just because of experience is Lindholm, Elias Lindholm.
I'm sorry, but
He's 30. He's definitely. I think he can definitely be an A, without a doubt, be an A.
An A.
And then you give him the C. I don't know, but as of right now, in my personal opinion, the clear-cut captain should be Pasta, but he doesn't want to. Does he have an A?
he is an A.
Is that okay? So I'd say the 2 A's would probably be
Lindholm
and Pasta. C going to McAvoy. Maybe giving like a fill-in A to Hampus Lindholm, but other than that, I think really only the other clear-cut C to be, like, without a question.
To be C
is C, Charlie McAvoy.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot. Hampus Lindholm, they probably could find some arguments for that.
To be C McAvoy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
C-Mac, another C-Mac that's going to be captain.
I kind of laughed at Ethan. I remember he brought it up in one of our chats. Like, he's like, this might be the first time Boston actually won't be hateable for him.
I think he said Boston became a lot less hateable. It's kind of true.
For whatever reason, I have more hatred towards Florida than everybody else.
Marchand was one of the main reasons I didn't like Boston. I mean, I still don't like. The only Boston team in general that I don't hate is the Red Sox. My grandma's favorite team. Second favorite team was always the Red Sox, and obviously I was always a big Poppy fan growing up too. So I mean, I had no hate for the Red Sox whatsoever. And Fenway's a #1 bucket list attraction out of anything.
Just to say you went to Fenway, regardless of the teams to watch. Yeah. You know.
But yeah, I mean, Charlie McAvoy, I think, is the best option there. So Lindholm, possibly. Hampus Lindholm, and they have 2 Lindholms. I didn't realize that. Hampus Lindholm and Elias Lindholm. Those 2 can possibly get 2 A's. Pasternak obviously has 1. But then I think the other one is going to come down to either one of the 2 Lindholms. Who is the third, actually, right now? While we're still here. Bruins captain. Let's see. I don't think they're going to name him this season. They'll probably wait until the end of next year. So their alternates. Okay, their alternates are Charlie and Pass. I didn't realize Charlie had an A already. So I can definitely see McAvoy getting the C then, without a question. I don't think they'll give it to somebody that doesn't even have an A right now. So McAvoy will probably become the captain, and the C's or the A's will be Pasta, and then one of the 2 Lindholms.
A Lindholm.
One of the A Lindholm. Yeah, one of the 2 Lindholms. But yeah, man, that's.
Or maybe both, because you could have those alternating captains. You got the C and McAvoy, the assistants A.
So I think the Penguins were doing that for a while with Tang and Dumoulin.
No.
I thought they were. I know Dumoulin had an A at one point.
It's probably because one of the 3 captains were out at that point.
Well, so that's what I mean. Like, one Lindholm will get the full-time A, and then the one can be like a reserve if one of the other 3 are out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, Hampus has the A, he gets hurt.
Elias
gets it. Yeah, But the full-time A is going to be Pasta. Obviously, the C will be Charlie. And then alternate, depending on the night, A's can be the 2 Lindholms. Yeah, man, that's... biggest losers are the Boston Bruins, who are being Colin decided to rock tonight. They don't even get this letter grade for the deadline. They get this, -3 letter grades. I think they might be the only team that I legit give a flat-out F to. Like, the biggest loser of the deadline is easily Boston. And some teams that didn't do much, didn't do anything, so you can't really give them an F because they didn't do anything.
Nope.
Some teams didn't really need to do anything. The Capitals didn't really need to do anything.
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
They got Anthony Beauvillier from us. I think that was one of the only things that they really did.
He's going to be solid.
He's going to be a very solid third liner there. I was not very happy with that one. I'm surprised we got a 2nd-round pick out of him, though. I'm happy with that.
Considering the 2 big trades, come right off the top of my head, both dealt with the Penguins. First one with Barzell, and now with Beauvillier.
I think we got a 2nd-round out of Lars Eller, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, he went to Washington too. That's right.
Yeah, he's the number 2 center right now.
Yeah.
And he's doing pretty darn well for them down there.
Bevilier is probably going to be a third line guy. Depending on injury, he might even be able to sneak up into that second.
Well, again, depends on how healthy, Tom Wilson stays, how healthy Ryan Strome will stay. Or not Ryan, Dylan Strome. Because Dylan Strome is in between, Ovechkin and I think... I forget who was on the other wing, but...
McMichael or something?
Yeah, McMichael.
McMichael.
It's Ovi and the kids.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Speaking of Ovi, over counter.
He's
9.
He's down to 9.
9 more goals, man.
Single digits, 2...
I was wrong. Okay, it is Tom Wilson on that first line. It's Ovi, Strome, Wilson.
Okay.
And then McMichael, PLD, Alexei Poitras.
I think McMichael was on that first line.
Right now, listed they have Bevilier on the 4th.
Time will change.
Just Taylor Radish is their third line right winger.
Oh.
So I didn't realize he was back in the NHL right now.
Yeah, time
They
will
have Mangiapane, Lars Eller, Taylor Radish on the third line.
time will change.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, Ovi, 8 to tie, 9 to break.
Which is absolutely insane.
What did I say?
Colin thinks he's going to do it at the end of this month.
I think so too.
He will. 100%.
There's what, 10, I think we said the other night, 10 games left this month. So all he needs is maybe one more hat trick, and then he can afford to go a game or two without one. But I don't know if he's going to do it at the end of this month. He will break it this season.
Let's see.
That is, praying, hoping he can stay healthy.
3-game road trip here. The California push, Anaheim, LA, San Jose.
I mean, 2 of those teams are going to be pretty easy to score on.
Yeah, they host Detroit, host the Flyers, host Florida, they go to Winnipeg, go to Minnesota, and their last game of the month of March is March 30th, 3 p.m., where they host the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, I can see it. Because they don't play us until, what, like April 10th or something like that?
Season finale.
The season finale?
Season finale, April 17th.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take that long.
Yeah, because they're
I don't know if it'll be by the end of the month. I can say maybe the second game in April. I don't know if he can do it by the end of the month. And they got a couple easy games there. Like we said, Buffalo, San Jose and Anaheim are in there. But then you got teams like Florida to deal with. Detroit. Minnesota, who's very underratedly good this year.
Well, I was gonna say and then the last 6 games for the Capitals are all interdivision. Hosting Carolina, in Long Island, in Pittsburgh, and a home against the Blue Jackets in the middle there.
Wow. So.
I'm sorry, they go to Long Island twice in the month of April. So.
Okay.
But either way, like Kyle said, it's very well doable for the grade A.
He's going to do it this season again, praying that he stays healthy.
Well, the fact is, number 1, he's 39 years old. Number 2, he missed 6 weeks due to a broken leg.
Yeah, he has how many goals this year? Like 30, 38 in 50 games or something like that? For 39 years old?
39 years old and missing 6 games. He's still top 5 currently in scoring in the league. 39 years old and missing some time with injury.
It's insane. Let me get his stats right here. In 48 games so far this year, he has 33 goals for 50 points. That put him at exactly, he has hit 1,600 points today, it looks like. So, yeah, that goal gave him exactly 1,600 career points. And he's 9 goals away from breaking a record that we all grew up being told this is the most unbreakable record in hockey, and now he's about to do it. So, he's literally witnessing greatness.
Yes.
Whoever said that should be punched in the face.
Not really, but not really. Yeah, but it sounds just as out of this world. Now
I want to show them the person who was there to watch Wayne Gretzky's final goal he scored. I want to bring him to the game where Alex Ovechkin breaks the record. Be like, now you're witnessing history twice.
I know we said that. I think once he gets to the 3 or 2 goals away mark, I think that's when we need to start getting together for every game if we can, and start watching to witness it all together, because that is just, again, witnessing greatness and something that we probably won't see again. I know we said that for Gretzky's, but and the thing is, if he hits it, does he keep going? Does he try to hit 900? Obviously, I think he's probably at least play the rest of the season.
So there is a very good chance, depending on when he hits the record, that he could hit 900. Real honestly, considering to break the record it's 895, and if he does it in the month of March, there's no way that he's going to go goalless between April 1st and whenever the Capitals are done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I know he went goalless last year, that playoff series, but you'd be asked nice to not see Ovi score. So
absolutely unbelievable, man.
It's been incredible to watch. Like
as much as we kind of grew up hating him as a player, just being told that we're supposed to hate him just because of the rivalry between him and Crosby. I mean, yeah, he's starting to almost prove me wrong with the whole Crosby-Ovechkin debate. It's getting close, man. Just how old he is and he's still being able to put up these numbers is
insane.
Unbelievable, man. But again, without a question of a doubt, greatest goal scorer of all time is going to be. And he's starting to get to that point where I might be being pushed on the Crosby-Ovechkin debate. But goal scorer, obviously, I've said for a while it's him. But overall, it's starting to push the other direction.
I'm still sticking true with Sid, with what he's doing in Pittsburgh on that Penguins team.
I still think the overall round player is Sid, but like the goal scorer.
As of right now, I still think it, but like depends on how much more Ovi's able to add. It might end up turning me. I mean, we'll see how Crosby finishes off his career, but yeah. I think that about does it. I don't got much else to add. Kind of just still out of shock over the Marchand one. Don't have much else to say because he hasn't played yet, so because he's out with injury still. So he might be back in time for Tuesday's matchup between Florida and Boston in Boston. So hell, that might even be a tearjerker of a tribute. Not even a Marchand fan, and I might still shed a tear on that one. So I know there's probably gonna be some split reactions in that arena. I mean, I don't think there's a single fan in that arena that'll boo him. To be honest, I think there'll probably be a couple. But I don't think it was his decision to be moved.
No, it wasn't. I mean, if he pulled like a John Tavares and like in free agency went to Toronto instead, yeah, you can.
Like, I wanted more money. No, like he was traded. Like he didn't leave them and go in the free agency for more money.
Yeah, he was traded not under request, not under his own his own will. So,
which I believe I did see he had to waive his no trade clause in order for the trade to happen.
Yeah.
But again, like. I'm sure he was kind of out of his kind of hands were probably tied. He didn't have much of a say. So, but yeah, man, that is clearly the evident era for sure in this day in hockey. Is the end of Marchand in Boston. Yeah, I'm about done with stuff to say.
I am too.
Oh, looking at it, there's nobody left from the last championship team in Boston. Or, right? I mean, Zacha is gone.
Well, Zacha's still in Boston now.
Oh no! Then I think Pavel Zacha was still around during that run.
The 2011 run?
Yeah.
No,
right.
no. Zacha's only been in Boston for about 3 years now.
Okay, well then never mind.
Marchand, I think, is the last one, obviously, from that, because he was just like, that might have been his rookie year or his second year for Marchand there. He was young when they had that cup run. Because that was 13 years ago now, I think. So Marchand is 35.
Brad Marchand is only a couple months younger than Sid.
Well, what was his first year that he started playing? In the NHL.
2009.
So yeah, it was like his second or third year. Yeah. Crazy, man, crazy. Absolutely insane deadline that we did not see that coming for sure. There's a lot of ones for the Penguins that I thought was going to be moved, that I was hoping was going to get moved. Didn't. Erik Karlsson.
The one I know Kyle and I were kind of talking about, like we were, the one throughout the week we were talking about, like I was talking about, I really thought Raquel,
I know there's heavy. I think there was a deal in place to move him, but then it ended up falling through.
Thankfully, I mean, yeah. I really didn't want to see Raquel get moved.
I know. I mean, at this point of his career, where he's just putting up probably the best numbers of his career right now, and I think he's our number one scorer right now.
He is.
He's at 30 goals now. Very close to. But yeah, that's about all I got left to say. Well, Colin finds that and proofs that stat for me. So I know he leads the team. I don't know if he's broken 30 yet or not.
No. So Rickard Rakell currently, he leads the team in goals at 29.
29. Okay.
But he's number 2 in points, only behind Sid, the middle-aged man. Sid has 68 points. Rickard has 54. And the next closest is Rusty at 47.
Yeah. And Rusty is another one I wouldn't have doubted to see get moved. But he might have to be one of the ones that we do move to continue on with this dreaded R word, the rebuild.
But we're he's overdue.
Dubas is doing a very good job. I mean, he said that his goal right now is to get this rebuild done as quick as possible to give Crosby, Malkin, and Letang one more shot at the big game, at the big dance. So he's doing a good job. I mean, I'm very, very happy with the trade deadline.
I am too.
I'd give us, honestly, what the letter we're rocking right now, I'd give us a B.
I would honestly like to see that patch back on our jerseys yet again.
One last time.
One last time.
I'm not asking for 2 or 3 more. I'd like 1 more for the three-headed monster there. But now, I think we're good. I'm done. Don't have much else to add on.
Pretty good.
All right.
Nothing to say.
All right. Well, we're out. Peace out. No peace, chicken grease, whatever you want to say. That's fine. Whatever outros you want to say. We're done saying the normal outro. We've said it so many times. We're gonna say it so many times again. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Peace out.
See ya.